Welcome everyone to another coaching corner. And today we are focused on getting your questions answered. I want to say right here at the beginning that your workflow is either helping you or hurting you. One of the things that I got a question about recently was, what if I don't have a workflow? That's not a thing. That's not a thing. Everyone has a workflow. The question is that workflow helping you or hurting you? Is that workflow accelerating you towards your goal, or is that workflow holding you back from realizing your dreams and your goals? Is that workflow antiquated? Maybe that workflow worked in a different season of your life and it's time to look at yet another workflow. During our Masterclass series, we talked about this definition that a content workflow is a systematic process that outlines the steps involved in creating, managing, and distributing content. It defines the roles, responsibilities, and documentation for each stage of the content creation lifecycle, from ideation to final delivery. It ensures that content is produced efficiently and effectively while maintaining quality and consistency. And so let's take a rudimentary area of life, keeping your home clean. What is your workflow for keeping your home clean? I'm not going to go through mine. I'm just throwing it out there because I want you to know that these are the types of things that we encounter when we talk about a workflow. Okay, you're working a 9-to-5 or you work for yourself. There are projects what is your workflow to deliver on a project? What is your workflow? Okay, that's a little too hard. What is your workflow for getting up in the morning? Yeah, personally, I charge my phones elsewhere, and I purchased an old school alarm clock. Nothing that's digital, nothing that's connected to the internet. And I set my alarm on there, but I can tell you just the way that I am, I always wake up before the alarm, turn off the alarm so that it doesn't disturb my wife, and I go to start my workflow. That's using the restroom, having worship, going for a walk, or getting in a workout before taking my kids to school. This is a workflow. And your workflow is either helping you or it's hurting you. And I just want to pose to the 10 of you that are watching live with me right now that you have workflows. Is your workflow working? Is your workflow functional? Is your workflow achieving what you have designed it to do? Or, and this is the worst part, maybe your workflow is giving you exactly what it's designed to do because you've designed it incorrectly. In content, there is workflows. There's no doubt about that. In our last masterclass, we went over several workflows using StreamYard. I want to be clear that those workflows were not necessarily specific to StreamYard. We just happened to use StreamYard for some of these content workflows. We went over a workflow for a podcast, an audio podcast. We went over a workflow for one take video production, meaning live to tape, live to drive. How can you organize it? How can you format it? We went over workflows for repurposing and prioritizing replay value. We went over workflows, steps, actions, aka activity that will yield a desired result. We went over these workflows and showcased how they can help you to move towards your goal. I'm simply submitting at the beginning of our coaching corner here today. Everyone has workflows in every single area and aspect of their lives. One of the things that I realized when I was studying for the PMP certification, project management professional, it is one of the hardest tests I've ever taken in my life, and I don't want to take it again. But as I was studying for it, so not necessarily the test, but as I was studying for it, I realized that this framework, this methodology, this practice of project management was essentially a large set of workflows. It was a large set of standard operating procedures that could be applied to multiple different scenarios in life. Because see, that's the thing with project management. Project management is not limited to IT work. It's not limited to design or programming. It is not limited to government contracting. Project management work is literally everywhere. Everywhere. I use project management at church. I use project management at the media ministry where I work. I use project management in my content creation. I use project management at home to cut the grass, to maintain the car. I use project management to help me understand when I need to purchase things and not purchase things. They are workflows that yield a specific and desired result. And I'm challenging you to audit your life through the lens of the workflows that you're using. I've got a workflow for how I engage with my son. Is it working for you? You've got a workflow for how you show up as a husband or a wife or a spouse or a partner or a friend for that matter. Is it working for you? Everyone has a workflow, but it is critical for us to audit that workflow from time to time to ensure that it is actually giving us what we desire. And if it's not, we need to make some tweaks, do some testing to ensure that it indeed will yield the results and the outcomes that we designed it to do. Do you have a workflow? The answer is yes. Is your workflow working for you? That remains to be seen. And it is only us individually that can actually take the time to look into our workflows and ensure that they're giving us what we want. One of the things that I want to say right here as well as we get ready to open it up for today is one of my workflows, just as an example, one of my workflows is that I will go and respond to all comments on my YouTube videos. Every comment on YouTube, I respond to. That is a workflow that I have. Now, the workflow is a larger workflow. So can I share this with you? The larger workflow, or maybe what I would call it, is how can I get more content ideas? How can I engage my audience? How can I validate or gain insight and feedback on the content that I'm putting out there? All right. So these are all the end goals. How do I get new content ideas? How do I engage my audience? How do I validate the videos that I put out already? These are the end goals. So now my end goals necessitate that I figure out a workflow that's going to land me at that end result. The workflow is I check my comments. Not only do I check the comments, I respond to all my comments, and I respond in robust form. Some of the responses are paragraphs because I'm trying to give the person the answer that they're looking for, or at least more insight. I engage with these comments, not just from the perspective of I want to have the algorithm recognize that this is a robust conversation, even though that is a fringe benefit, not just from the perspective of I want people to see that if they ask a question on my video, it will be answered. That even though that's a benefit as well. But I answer the questions, respond to all comments, and answer questions on my videos because of those end goals. Because when I go through those questions, I get ideas for more videos. There's several ideas for videos that came up recently for Ecamm in particular, but also StreamYard, and some comments that were shared on different videos, but those comments / questions I wasn't able to fully answer in my response. So the workflow needed to have a piece added to it so that I can close the loop. I responded to the comment. In some cases, I tried to answer the question, but in a lot of those cases, even though I did all of the above, I was not able to give them an example of the fix because you can't do that in text. And so one of the components that I'm bringing back to the coaching corner, because I've audited my workflow, is this component of responding in video form to the comments that come up in my YouTube videos. Make sense? This is just a process that I want to make sure that we get a chance to highlight. Your workflow, whether or not you have a workflow, is unequivocal. We're not even arguing that point. You have a workflow. It's just a matter of whether or not you want to call it that. That's totally up to you. Is your workflow working? Number one. Number two, when was the last time you audited it to make sure that it is still meeting the need in this season? Maybe you've shifted the goal line. Maybe you're looking to work towards something else. Whatever that is, we want to ensure that you are able to leverage it for maximum success. And right here, I think it's a great time to just kind of share that the content workflow masterclass series, well, that was only part one, and part two is coming up. And I want you to know that in part two, you'll be able to gain specific insights on content creation workflows. And this time we'll be using a platform called Ecamm Live. We'll do an overview of some of the functions and features, but we'll be looking at workflows for video conferencing using the virtual camera. We'll be looking at workflows for podcast guest recording. We'll be looking at workflows for portrait and landscape production with no editing. We'll also be looking at workflows for producing your main screen at a conference. Main screen production, is that something? Is that a thing? Main screen production at a conference. I recently had this question come up by somebody who was recommended to me by a good friend. And they're saying, hey, I'm going to be running these screens, these two huge screens in a conference hall for a client. What can I use? I said, I use Ecamm every single time, and it enables me to do seamless graphics, slides, videos, even cameras, and a combination of the two. And the thing that blew her mind was, man, I had no idea such a solution existed. I was like, well, actually, it's a streaming / creator platform that I'm just using for this. She's like, do you have a video on it? And that's when I said, no, I don't. And I thought to myself, this is an opportunity for me to create a video. These are the types of things that happen. These are the types of things that are possible. And I want to make sure you guys get a chance to check it out. If you go to my website, kirkrnugent.com, you'll see the masterclasses right there, right at the top. It's right on the, I guess, right side of the page. You'll see a card there that says take the class. Click on that. You'll see all the information is there. I even have a video there where I'm sharing with you some of the details about why you would want to get into that class. If you want to leverage video naturally, fam, if you want to cut down the amount of time it takes you to go from concept to reality where content is concerned, you want to be able to tap in for this masterclass. I dropped a video yesterday, a vertical video, a reel, a short on all the platforms, just kind of giving a bit of a tour of my studio. I'm going to do more of that tour today in today's live show as well. We're going to look at some of the comments some of the questions that were put on my YouTube videos. We're going to try and answer some of those. And that's what this space is all about. Refining, innovating, pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone, reframing our view of regret, Most of my YouTube videos came out of something that I quote unquote failed at. And we all know what fail stands for: first attempt in learning, first attempt in learning. This space has been designed for you, for us to be able to really engage with one another. I don't have guests regularly, but I'm going to try and bring some of that back, especially if anybody is interested in having a free coaching session with me live on camera. You can scan the QR code that's on the screen in the next scene, and you'll be able to do that. But we will be able to engage with one another in this space. And then I go right from here into the Workers Warehouse, where we have our weekly win session, whatever I need. This is my community group, and it is $45 a month or $500 a year, whichever one you want. And we make sure that we get every person moving incrementally, systematically towards their goals. This is what it's all about, y'all. We're not complicating content. We're leveraging it naturally. Let's dive in. What's good? What's good? What's good, family? It's your boy, Kirk Nugent, and we're back in the studio for another coaching corner. Yeah, that's that logo right there, the coaching corner with Kirk. And listen, I'm super excited that we are here. I'm super excited for all that we're going to experience today. I have my phone here, and you know what that means? That means that I am going to possibly take you guys around the studio for a quick tour. I see several of you are chiming in. The Coaching Corner, for those that are brand new, is the space that has been created here on this channel for us to come aside from all the things that we're doing, the hustle, the grind, the work, the projects, the deliverables, to pull aside for just an hour and to really engage around what has us stuck, how can we move forward, to gain insight, wisdom, perspective, from a different set of, from a different vantage point, right? From your coach, that is, for you to be able to get back in the fight with renewed wisdom, ideas, innovative processes and systems so that you can get to the next level. We do it in the middle of the week, Wednesday, the middle of the day at noon, because it's noon here in the Lord's time zone, which is the Central time zone. And we're excited for each and every one of you that are chiming in with us, whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay. Now, I know several of you have been watching for a while, and I want to make sure that we get a chance to acknowledge you. We're super excited for that. How is everyone doing today? Glad to be here, glad to be learning, glad to be creating. Thank you so much, Darius O'Kane. What's going on, Tracy? Always good to have you with us as well. Jim Lawyer says, happy Wednesday. Happy to you as well. Doc Bishara says, peace to my peoples. I see Monty Weaver is on the live saying, what up, everybody? Darren is with us, says hello, friends. Hello to you as well. Always good to have you. See, my moderators are doing their good work. I am embracing workflow as a true cheat code. Let me tell you something. If you saw the studio tour, that studio tour is a very small window into a larger workflow that enables me to churn out consistent, high quality content on a regular basis, multiple videos per week, with very little video editing. And I definitely am excited to be able to share some of that with you as well. Our Navy son is currently visiting and I can't get anything done. My workflow has been completely disrupted. How timely. Listen, sometimes the workflow, you have to just recognize that we're throwing the workflow out. That's got to be a contingency in your workflow to know and recognize when the workflow is not working for you. What's good? GR Houston Jack says, brilliant idea. I'm overdue to audit my workflows. Hey, I'm excited that you're doing that. And I see that you are checking out the masterclass from this past month, right? So first Friday of this month, May, we had our masterclass, Content Workflows Part 1. Says she was on the road during the live workshop, so she's actually going to go check it out today. Super excited for that. Thank you so much for being with us today. I see Tracy's got a question. I'm going to grab it in just a second, but I want to catch a couple more comments here. You had cameras for days in that studio tour. I think I've counted 7 cameras in the studio. Let me do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 7 cameras. Actually, one of them is disconnected back there, so that's 8 cameras, but that one is disconnected. This one is also disconnected, so maybe 9. I don't know. But there are definitely a good amount of cameras, and if you count my phones, then you've got 10 and 11 right there as well. But yeah, we definitely had some fun putting this thing together and building it out. Good afternoon to you as well, Micah. Always good to have you. Now, let's see. We are going to dive into several things today. I want to first go to my screen and showcase something that I talked about a little earlier, and that is my website. I want to kind of divide this stranger here, because so many times people ask me, where should I go? What should I do? Literally everything is here on the website. Everything is here on the website. So while I'm doing that, let me go ahead and pull up my mouse and let's get that turned on so we can showcase some things. So right here at the top, you've got my logo, my signature, I should say. You also have about, speaking, resources, watch, and t-shirts. Those are the menus that are across the top there. Don't complicate content, leverage video naturally. I teach time-saving video production techniques for the non-media professional, enabling them to leverage the power of content. This is the masterclass. If you click that, it's going to take you to the masterclass page, and I'm hearing myself, but right, this is a video where I'm describing this new masterclass series content workflows part 2, right? Ecamm Live. So definitely want to make sure you guys get a chance to check that out. Also wanted to say this: if you're watching me right now on screen, you'll see above my desktop, which I'm showing you right now, you'll see where it says scan for coaching. I haven't said this in a very long time, but if you are interested in getting a free coaching session live on this show, then you want to scan that QR code, and we will ensure, if you haven't gotten one before, right, that's one thing that's critical, but we'll ensure that you can come on the show, and we'll allocate 20 minutes of the show just to engage with you around your questions, and that'll be a live session that everybody will be able to see. So if you scan that QR code, it will enable you to send an email, and we'll do just that. Going back to the main page, again, right here you have this button that says book me. If you click on that, it's going to take you to the resources page, and again, there's another video here that's going to kind of walk you through what's on this page, but this basically has all the resources. If you want to hire my team to do some of your video editing, that's another easy button. That's another workflow that will enable you to get to done sooner. If you want to hire us to be able to do some of your graphic design, absolutely, by all means, it's right here. If you want somebody to produce your show, produce your content, your podcast, or whatever it might be remotely, so it says remote, right? It says remote. If you want a remote producer, definitely tap in right here. If you're looking to grab any of our subscriptions, graphics, course content, and resources, they are all here and available for you right here. You can grab them right here. If you weren't able to make it to the masterclass this first Friday of this month, that masterclass will be included in this course subscription. So you can still get to the masterclass. $67 holds your seat in the masterclass. $67 also gets you access to the course content subscription. Buy either one. Now, if you want to go to the masterclass live, you do have to pay for the masterclass live. If you don't care to go live, you can't make it live, then buy the course subscription, and then you will have the masterclass along with all my previous courses and all my previous masterclasses right here in this subscription. And we add course content, masterclass content to this subscription a couple times over a quarter, a couple times per quarter. So some people say, I only need it for 3 months. They pay the $67, they're done, they move on. Some people are like, you're still adding more content, so I'll pay another $67 for another 3 months. And then at the end of that 3 months, they're like, you're still adding content, so I'll pay another $67 for 3 months. I think it's a great deal, but totally up to you guys. Resource subscription is here as well. And here's the piece that many people are asking me about. And I'm like, guys, it's right here on the page. Half-hour consult session, full-hour consult session. To be clear, these are not coaching. This is, I do no preparation for these. You have questions, you want to get in a Zoom room with me for half hour or full hour, this is where you book that. If you want to go into coaching, you have to go onto the coaching page. Here's where you can join the Workers Warehouse. Here's all of my resource links. And if you click that, you're going to see here literally every link that I have. You'll also see, I thought I updated this, but you'll also see a pop-up. But yeah, coaching. Try coaching, visit our online store, Kajabi, Calendly. These are all my affiliate links. You have all those things here. If I go back to the homepage, where am I at? I got 13 of you guys on the live. And so you have here a little bit further down, right on the main page, you can join the Workers Warehouse from here. Of course, I've got to give some notoriety and some some clout. These are platforms and brands that I have had the privilege of working with and either creating content for or doing some guest teaching and coaching for. So yes, excited for that. There's the coaching page. You're already a creator. Click on Book Me. It's going to take you back to the same page. You have those same 3 subscriptions here on the main page as well. You also have my content, different playlists that you can actually engage with. So there's a lot right here. Even if you click on this will take you to the show page, and the show page is always updated with the latest content that we have available. The latest content. You don't have to go and look for us on YouTube. Just go to kirknugent.com. It's going to give you quite literally everything. And I wanted to make sure to showcase that today, up to and including the Masterclass, which will launch in 22 days, 21 hours, 18 minutes, and 3, 2, 1, 0, 59 seconds. Yeah, you get the point. And so these are some of the things I wanted to showcase quickly today because I keep on getting these questions and I want to make sure that you guys get a chance to engage. This QR code here is the one to sign up for coaching. If you want to sign up for a free coaching session here on the Coaching Corner on Wednesdays, that's the QR code to sign up with. All right. So definitely keep that in mind as well. I love seeing the comments and things coming in here. Let's get back to those. Let's see here. I see Florence is with us. Florence, I have missed you. I just want to say that. We're so always glad to have you with us. Tracy's just kind of sharing with you where you need to go. Truly appreciate that. I see there's a question from Darren. I'm going to go ahead and star that so I can grab it. Today is a great day to ask questions. Start your questions with a Q colon. I love it. Love that. I love that. And I see some other comments in there as well. Oh, Pigtown Sports. Now, Pigtown Sports, you shared with me your name last time, and I'm blanking on what it is, but hopefully you can remind me what it is. And maybe somebody else will ask as well. I see another question here. So good. So good. So many different questions are coming up. So let's start with our first question. Let me make sure I didn't miss any. Let me see here. I got Darren's question. I got Jim Lawyer's question. I've got Jim Lawyer, Darren, and then Tracy. Yep, Tracy's got a question. So let's start with Tracy's question. So Tracy's asking, I know much of the workflow concept works for all platforms, but as you are doing StreamYard, Ecamm, etc., any chance of doing Restream, please? That's a great idea. Yeah, because there will be some specifics. There may be some specifics. Yeah, I have planned to do, so the workflows that I'm going to do with Ecamm aren't necessarily the same workflows that I did with StreamYard, but the workflows are interchangeable. I will also do a part 3 to the content workflow series, which will use EVMux, but I could use Restream. So this is a great question, and I'm going to make note of it. And I want to thank you for asking that question. Thank you so much, Tracy. You're just such a treasure for this community. I thank you so much for being with us today. Okay, Darren says, how do you stream flow your thoughts? I have recently learned of Canva whiteboard and I'm working on that. I use sticky notes, real ones, and on my computer, or I put notes on iMac pages too. So I think Florence actually responded to you a little bit on this one, but I will show you my screen and I'm gonna go to my notes. This is TickTick. This is where I put all my thoughts. I use tags to add the projects to different things that I can easily search. So let's say here's some tasks. I need to do this. I've got some things here that these are my thoughts. This is how I streamline them. Video production, boom. I've got this one, Exhale with BOL. This Discipling Academy. This is another one that I'm working on. BHM Awards. Actually, this one is complete. I can actually complete that one. This one is never complete. It's an ongoing podcast that I'm doing. Here's the Masterclass series, and I put my notes in here as well. So I just have them sectioned into projects, right? So task, coaching, video production, speaking. These were two major projects that I was working on for clients. They're long-term projects over several months. That's why I made them into a larger project. Otherwise, I would just kind of sneak them into video production or under coaching. And then in those projects, I have different things. So you can see here, Ozbot Tale 2, I've got some docs that I've worked on, live reacting, several videos. I just dropped one of those videos on the channel this past Sunday, but when it comes on to my thoughts, this is where I place them. I've even got my scripts in here as well. I mean, I literally have my scripts in here as well. That's all under video production. I've got sections, new, ongoing, in progress, review, resources, and then I have a completed section here on the bottom. I probably need to slide it out here to the side. Speaking, here's some speaking engagements and some notes that I had for some of the speaking things that I was doing. Hopefully that makes sense, but and I just have random notes because I want to be able to grab notes and put them aside somewhere. And some of these are my notes from the Masterclass, speaking, presenting. You can see some of that from here as well. Different things that I've put together. So I have notes. There's content strategy here. Boom, boom, boom. Content strategy workshop 2025. Boom, boom, boom. You get the idea. I have my thoughts. When I think about as soon as you said the word thoughts, what immediately came to mind for me was TickTick, because I want a place that I can grab, I can use on my phone, I can use it on my laptop, I can use it on my tablet, I can use it on this computer, and it's synced up real time. I don't have to copy back and forth between the different devices. That was critical for me. I know Florence is a Evernote aficionado, but she's also just a productivity expert. And so me and her have gone back and forth on several of these types of platforms. Evernote is one, of course, ClickUp, Asana, Notion. There's a lot of these types of applications, and you shared one or two, I think, just sticky notes. We did and Canva whiteboard is another new one that's coming up, but I'm already invested in this platform called TickTick. But we did let me go back to the screen here for just a second. We did a masterclass with Kat Mulvihill right here called Content Planning Masterclass. And if I click on that, it's going to bring it up. It's going to tell you that this is members only content, but if you're a member on the channel, you can see it. Alternatively, if you are a subscriber to our course content subscription, you would also be able to have access to that. Oh man, I went to the wrong thing. Okay, I went to the comment instead of the screen. So I was showcasing here Content Planning Masterclass, and when you click on it, you see that it's a members only item. But if you, as I mentioned, if you are a subscriber to our course content subscription, you would also have access to it. But she really goes through content planning, but really your thoughts and your ideas and how to put them into different patterns, regardless of the platform. Now, in this class, she used Notion as an example, but whatever platform you're comfortable with, I think you can absolutely kind of, retrofit it to your platform of choice. or you can use Notion as well. So these are some of the things that I would absolutely engage around. And I think that hopefully that answers the question. Jim Lawyer has a question as well. And in order to bring up that comment, we're going to actually bring it up on the right way. Here we go. Jim Lawyer says, will you be doing any videos on the new EVMux RTMP ingest? It works great and is awesome. I absolutely will be doing a video on that. It's actually in my list. There's actually a couple other EVMux additions, or I should say, what's the term I'm looking for? EVMux functions and features that they've dropped recently that I really need to get into. So, but yeah, that's definitely one. Just for sake of information, our Restream already had this, but it works slightly differently. And so I may actually contrast the two so that people can kind of see and, you know, further highlight that this functionality has been there, but it's just kind of surfacing in some of these other platforms as well. So, but RTMP ingest is pretty dope. And I'm definitely looking forward to doing a video on that and covering what that's gonna look like. Darius O'Kane has been covering some good EVMux content as well. So definitely wanna make sure you guys get a chance to check out his channel too. So EVMux, RTMP ingest, and then eCam for, okay, those are some videos, ideas that I will definitely be looking at. All right, let me scroll back here. I think I missed some comments. Zach, that's your name. Zach is your name. I found it in my notes. I found it in my notes that your name is Zach, Pigtown Sports. It's Zach. Okay, thank you. I'm just trying to make sure that I have everybody right here. Okay, let me go back to comments. Let me go, oh, Zach, yeah, Zach already put it in the comments as well. Dang it. Well, anyway, I found it in my notes, but I'm glad you put it in there as well. We have a great moderator team. Appreciate the team picking up the slack for me. Oh man, listen, we know that life gets busy and we can't thank you enough for just being that mainstay. You're absolutely phenomenal at what you do, and the community is just absolutely loves you. So we are excited about all that you bring to this space. Okay. Zach says, I just ended my restream recently. Nothing wrong with it. Want to move more to Ecamm or Riverside. I'm a big Ecamm fan. I like Riverside from a remote recording perspective, but only from a remote recording perspective, for nothing else. I don't use Riverside for anything other than remote recording. So that's one way to that's another thing to keep in mind, Zach, as you're kind of following through those things. Thanks. Restream has had some updates recently, so I'd appreciate it. I'm doing more lives now. My sound is sorted. Oh, excellent. I'm excited to hear that. Definitely, I am overdue to kind of do like a Restream function and feature roundup 2025 or something like that, right? So let me write that down as well. Restream roundup 2025. Yeah, thank you for that. I love these ideas. You guys are giving me great ideas for, you know, more videos that I can put on the channel. And that's another reason why I love engaging once a week here in the coaching corner. All right. I use Evernote and Kirk uses TickTick. Yes, that is absolutely correct. Yes. And the key is to pick one and stick with it. Reduce switching tools constantly. I agree. I totally 5,000% agree. And I see that there are 20 of you guys on the live today. I'm going to try and catch all your comments and questions. If you have questions, please, by all means, throw them in the chat. Love seeing that stuff. Used Evernote in the past. All my work is on my desktop, so no need to have it on my phone. My phone is actually where I type in TickTick the most. I just want to be honest with you, because when I'm doing a brain dump, I actually will just open up TickTick, hit the microphone, and speak out my thoughts, and it types it into the app, and then I'm able to have those over here on my computer. So, but I know Evernote also has it, just depending on whatever platform. I'm just saying, don't count out the functionality on the phone or mobile, because in terms of workflow, you may actually find that is a part of the workflow that will be increasingly more significant or weighted in your evaluation going forward. So just kind of keep that in mind as well. Riverside not having scenes and all is still lacking. So it has scenes, but it isn't quite the same. So I agree with you. It doesn't have scenes in the way that EVMux has scenes, or Ecamm has scenes, or StreamYard has added scenes. My guy David Hunt is here today. Thank you so much for being with us. I see the moderator salute. I love it. And then I see Geraldine is with us today as well. Always good having Geraldine on. Always good, always good, always good, always good, always good. So yeah, man, a lot of ground to cover today. I started late, but I wanted to make sure that, you know, even here, as we are kind of following through on some of the things that were shared earlier, if you look at the screen right now, you'll see a QR code at the top, right up there where it says scan for coaching. Definitely want to make sure you get a chance to be on this show and spend 20 minutes with me getting unstuck and asking your questions. If that's something you're interested in, by all means, come on the show. But also, if you head over to kirknugent.com, which would be this page here, you will also see that the content workflows part 2 is available. This is our masterclass series on content workflows, and we'll be using Ecamm Live for this one. Definitely going to be covering some really cool workflows. Would love for you to be able to check it out. I share all those details on this page if you click on learn more. So wanted to make sure you guys had that. This QR code on the screen right here is also for you to be able to come on this show and be a guest for coaching. Now, with all that said, I do want to get into some questions and answers. All right. Okay, so now you should see on screen, I have a question that was brought in 3 weeks ago from one of our viewers on YouTube. Now I see David Hunt has a question here as well. He says, YouTube comments, if you have old comments about a year or so, should you go back and answer them? Yeah, I think you absolutely should go back and answer those questions, David Hunt. I think that's absolutely appropriate. Just let them know, hey, I'm so sorry I didn't get back to you sooner. Going through and cleaning up, you know, comments that I haven't responded to, and I saw this one, and I just wanted to take the time to say thank you for commenting, thank you for supporting the channel, and if they have a question, give them a robust answer to that question. Thumbs up the comment, heart the comment, so that you can actually get their attention. So that's actually 2 different notifications. When you respond to their comment, they get a notification. When you like their comment and heart their comment, they get a notification. So it's just more likely that they will be notified that you responded. And especially if it's been a while, you want to make sure you have that in there as well. So thank you for the question. 19 of you guys are on the live. We're going to try and catch everything today. I may not get to all of the questions that I have. I have 4 questions from different YouTube videos, and I wanted to kind of touch on some of them. Okay. So this is a comment, and the gentleman says, I set up a scene called teaching. It is meant to have a guest on stage showing their presentation, but I can only show one camera, and I only can show camera 1, which is the host. Is there a different way to allow the guest to be on camera and sharing their presentation? Do I need to use the background option to show the guest? So there is a hack for this. There is a hack for this. And I'm gonna go to, let's go to StreamYard here real quick. Let's get into the studio, but there is a hack for this. And I hope that you guys kind of understood the question. I hope that you guys have kind of understood the question, but there is a hack for this. So what I'm going to do right now is turn one camera on. I'm going to get this other camera added. Let's go here, extra camera. We'll use the BTS shot. We'll share that one. So now I have 2 cameras in here. And so the challenge is for if you have a scene, right? So let's get a scene here. What's this one? cam 2. Okay. So if you have a scene, so let's add this one here, add this one here. If you have a scene where your, let's edit this. You've got a scene where you've got, okay. Dun, dun, dun. All right, here we go. So you have a scene, you have camera 2 and you have camera 1. Camera 2, you have camera 1. Let's get here. This is fill, and we'll just put this back to what it's supposed to be. All right. So we have that, and we'll have this. I'm just trying to make them exactly the same. So I have camera 1. You see, this is camera 1, camera 2. Let's get rid of camera 2 for a second. Let's add in this same scene, we're going to add in a media slot, and that is going to be the presentation. So now I just need to go here and add in a presentation. Let's do studio and add that in. So now I've got camera 1 and my presentation. If I'm going to save this, let's save this, update layout, and go down to that layout. So now you see I have camera 1 and I have the presentation. If I want to add, if I remove camera 1, I would like to have the camera 2 in that slot instead, but you kind of need to just make sure that you remove at least remove the one you don't want and add the one you do. Keep in mind, there's no camera 1 or camera 2. So in the bottom of StreamYard, right? We don't see camera 1 or camera 2 down here, but we do know that this is camera 1. So let's go to a different scene. All right, in this scene, all right, let's go to this one. So go to this scene. I'm gonna add, and so you have camera 1 and camera 2. And you can move them around as well, and that kind of changes things. So now I've got these two set up. What happens when I go back to the scene? Still nothing there. So let's add this one there. Let's go back to this one. Notice that it just stays. This is the thing that I keep on trying to say to folks when they're doing these scenes, where they're creating these scenes. They're trying to figure out what's the best way for me to set up a scene so that it just stays the way that I want it. Now, notice I'm going to remove this camera and add this camera and go back to this scene. And no, this scene still has both cameras added. This scene has the camera that I last added to the scene. Every single time it will have the camera I last added to the scene. That's how it will work. It will always have the camera. It's not gonna look at camera 1, camera 2, whatever. You have one camera in the scene. You have your slides in the scene as well, or if you're doing a presentation. So based on that question that we were looking at from the gentleman on YouTube here, I set up some scenes, all this stuff. But we look at that, we can recognize that we also have this set up here, right? So this is what he was talking about, having the presentation, having his camera, but he was saying he couldn't get camera 2. The challenge is there are 2 cameras, yes. And if I hit add to stage, this other one is not gonna add if this is the one I wanted, right? So let's say this is the one I wanted, this other one's not gonna add to the stage. I have to remove this one and then add this one. Notice it's now there. That camera is finally there. And if I go to another scene and come back to this scene, that camera is still there. This is the trick for scenes in StreamYard. I cannot tell you how many times I get this question. I try to explain it, but sometimes it's better to see it. The trick is you've got to go through and make sure your assets are in the scene the way that you want it before you go live. You got to make sure your assets are in the scene the way that you want it before you go live. There's no preview mode, where you can actually build this stuff on the fly. So one guy was telling me, well, my guest doesn't come in until way late. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge. I don't see a way around, making that work, because you have to add them to the scene before you go live. All right. Now, with that said, let's see if we have any more comments that I need to catch up with. Dr. Tachi is here. Somebody saying hi to Dr. Tachi. What's going on with you? Kirk, I need to vanish for a few minutes so I can be back for the weekly win. Sorry, no worries, no worries. I'm glad you're going to be here with us for the weekly win session. Thank you. I have been doing that. I am up to 8 months to a year with answering comments. Listen, go back through and answer all of them. I started with the earliest comments and working my way backward. Yeah, that's probably wise. And I'm gonna tell you right now, David, while you're doing that, make sure you're making notes. Make sure you're making notes of what people are saying, especially if they're asking questions, especially if they're giving you feedback. You want to ensure that you're not just giving them AI responses, you're giving them your responses, David responses. So that's a great thing to do there as well. Okay, 104. I only got 10 minutes left. 10 minutes left. I don't see any questions from you guys, so let me go back to my my Q&A screen here and see if we can't pull up one more question. All right, thanks for explaining this feature. Appreciate it. My question is there a way to have StreamYard intuitively toggle back and forth between guest and host when they are speaking, similar to Zoom? So the answer to this question is no. There is no active speaker setting in StreamYard. There's no active speaker setting in Ecamm, in Restream, in EVMux. There's no active speaker setting. And if I can be frank and very honest with you, I don't want there to be one. Active speaker is not all it's cracked up to be. I think it doesn't work well in Zoom, to be quite honest with you. Because if I'm talking and my guest is also talking, maybe they're responding, maybe they're saying, oh, that's good. Wow, never thought about that. If the guest does any of those things, the active speaker now has to decide which camera is it gonna show. I'm not a fan. I like being able to switch between the two organically, and do it myself, be intentional about it. All right, so let me go back to the screen here. This is probably the only other question we're gonna be able to answer for today. And what you can do, right, in this same scene, I'm gonna do, let's edit this scene. We're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna add let's add the other, let me see here. This one, we wanna duplicate this. And now we have two screens on the stage. We'll change the layer priority by making this one big. We'll make this one smaller, put it in the corner here. And then we will have this one take up the entire scene. So now you can see that red box because that's the scene that's been covered. So I'm going to say save on that, update cam 2. So now we have this one set as cam 2. All right, which scene are we on with this one? And so let's just, okay, so we have that one set. Let's go to this one. So we go into this one now, and in this scene, let's take our lower thirds off, and we are going to do this basically the same thing that we did in this scene. It's just in this scene we're going to have the other camera primary, so we want the top down shot primary. So here we click on edit, we'll take this one. Oh, it's a grid. Is that what it is? Let's get rid of the grid. All right, so we have to get rid of the grid and add a camera slot. Boom. There's that one. We want the top down shot to be bigger, so I'm going to put this here. I'm going to add item, camera slot, and that is now that the top down shot will make that big. Hit save. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so now we have a new layout, and we need to select that layout. So here we have this one, and here we have this one. Notice in both of the scenes, the other camera is there, and that person can be heard, but you can just switch back and forth between these scenes, and that will be how it will end up looking. Notice I put one in one corner, put the other in the other corner, so you have it almost like it's coming one side, coming the other side. That's the idea So for this question that was asked, and I hope that they get a chance to see these, you would simply go in, create 2 scenes, and it would be very simple for you while live. For, your guest is speaking, you make them big. When you're speaking, you make yourself big, and where necessary, you would have, I'm assuming, yourself and the guest, and you would just have 1 scene for that as well. So you'd create those 3 scenes, and you can easily toggle between them, and you can have a really robust and engaging live show or live interview. So hopefully that helps. I'm glad we were able to touch on some of those things for those questions that we have coming in from online. There's another question here. Here's another question. Here's yet another question. Let's go back to this one. Yeah, these are questions that I will try to get to in the next couple of coaching corners, but for right now, I think we'll just kind of leave it there. But hopefully answering these questions was helpful to all of you. Talk to me in the comments. We still got about 5 minutes left. 17 of you guys are on the live. I know that somebody's got at least 1 comment left for us to be able to close out the live show. And even as we are getting ready to close it out, I want to say this, man. Your workflow, you will, unfortunately or fortunately, however you want to term it, we will not rise any higher than our workflows have been designed to. Then our workflows have been designed to allow us to rise. If your workflow is designed for you to be able to put out, minimum amount of content, minimum amount of workflow, mediocre quality, that's what your workflow is going to give you, because it was designed to give you that. The only way that you're going to be able to tweak your workflow and change it so that it goes to the next level, so that it gives you next level content, next level quality, so it allows you time back in your schedule because you're doing it in a way that's helping you to save time, helping you to go to the next level in terms of efficiency, consistency, quality. If your workflow is not designed to do that, then you need to relook at your workflow. That's what we started with today. And believe me when I tell you, we're going to stay right there for the next couple of weeks. Your workflow. What we said at the beginning is everybody has a workflow. That's unequivocal. That's not up for argument. That's not up for grabs. Everyone has a workflow in multiple areas of our lives. We have workflows. Question is that workflow working for you? Question is, when was the last time you audited that workflow so that your workflow will give you what you designed it to do? Come on. Dwayne Wood is with us today. He says, yes. I love that. Thank you so much for being with us. You see that yellow dot next to his name there. That's because he's a member on the channel. Always good to have you come through, my friend. And I see David Hunt is greeting you. Okay. We got one last question, and this is our last for the day. I had old comments show up after I answered them years ago. We're talking 11 years old. Won't it look odd to answer now? Not really to me. It won't look odd to me. I would literally type what you just typed in the comment. I would say, hey, thank you for this comment. It popped up as I was responding to some other comments. I never saw it before. So even though it says 11 years old, this comment is new to me, and here's my response. You can engage with people and be as real as you need to be. In fact, I encourage that in your comments, in your responses, to be as real as you can be. That's why I said to David, don't do AI comments. Don't do AI responses. I see them there. YouTube is suggesting, oh, you could just say this to this person. No, I'm going to type my own response because I want it to be from me. When I tell people, I had a lady hit me up on Instagram in the DMs. And I'm trying to do better on Instagram. I'm trying to do better on Facebook as well. But YouTube is just where I've put my thrust and my energy. But she hit me up over there, and my VA responded to her saying, I will relay your question to Mr. Nugent, But if you comment on YouTube, he's the only one that responds, and he responds directly and he responds quickly. You know what that lady did? She came on over to YouTube and she typed she shared her question on a random video. And guess what? She got a response from me before she ever heard back from my VA. And this is my point. Your comment section, you're making a verbal contract with your audience with how you run your channel. Have you ever thought about that? Like, it's your channel. I mean, back in the day, I mean, you had like NBC, CBS, you had Fox, PBS, CNN. These are all channels. You have a channel. Yeah, David Hunt, channel. Kirk Nugent, channel. GR Houston Jack, channel. Sippy Cup Adventures of Northern California, channel. You've got a channel. And on your channel, you get to decide what the normative behavior is going to be. You get to set the expectation for your audience. And once you set that expectation, I'm just simply asking you to live up to what you've promised them. So somebody comments on the channel, you missed it. It's been years. Respond, no worries. I missed it. My apologies. That happens here on the live sometimes. I miss questions. I don't see them. And this is what I mean. I think it's just so critical. I mean, I know we've kind of talked on this comments thing for a while, but it's just so critical. I use this as an example for the workflow that I do. I think it's just so critical when we think about your workflow, especially when it comes on to content creation. One of the last steps in that content cycle is feedback. One of those last steps is engagement, because you've put out, you had the concept for the video. You scripted the intro and the outro, you recorded it. Maybe you edited it, maybe you didn't. You've posted the video. The video is now available for consumption. Title, description, thumbnail, all done. People are watching the video. The workflow is not complete until you've heard from your audience. So your comments is super critical. It's a critical part of your workflow. And as you are innovating your workflow, tweaking your workflow, taking your workflow to the next level because you want your output to go to the next level, having feedback, right, is wildly intuitive for you to be able to make those tweaks and changes in a way that helps you to serve your audience better. And that's what I want to end with for today, y'all. That's what I want to end with for today. Don't make content complicated. Yeah? Don't make it into a burden. Let's keep it simple. Let's leverage video naturally. That's how it all works. That's how it all works. Bulk content, Costco for content. I'm looking at some of my notes. That's how it all works. I'm hoping that some of you guys will join us for the masterclass this first Friday of June. I think it's going to be absolutely amazing content workflows. And I hope that you guys, both those who are live and those who watch this on the replay, you got something out of today's show. It's your boy, Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Preacher. Thankful for your time and attention. Listen, I want to leave you with these words. Learn how to produce content consistently on a tight schedule with no prior video experience. Turn your knowledge into impact. Turn your knowledge into income through the power of video with light or no editing required. This is how it all works, family. Don't complicate content. Leverage video naturally. We'll see you in the next one.